Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Today we're going to do some box missions, and we are going to start right now. So sit back and relax for at least we're going to do one at least. Don't have a lot of time today, so we're going to just do what we can in the time that we have. And I know you'll appreciate a shorter, better stream than a long, drawn-out, boring stream. Because I am still not entertaining enough to capture your attention for more than an hour. My name is Yentra, and for those of you who are interested, I run an organization on Discord, which is called the Know Nothings. And, oh, I forgot we're going to have to claim the Valkyrie. But we're not going to. We will do that. But I'm going to... No, I did not want to claim the Nox. I wanted to claim the Valkyrie. I run a Discord server called the Know Nothings. And you should check it out if you're interested in particularly mining, but we also do, well, just about anything else in game. But mining is kind of the main focus, and it is definitely worth checking out. Let's just take the Star Runner.
Has been delivered to the following location. Please visit us again.
Because the Star Runner is equally good at whatever the Val can do, right? This is my favorite ship in the game, probably. Yeah, for sure. I don't fly it as often as I used to for this kind of thing, but this used to be my daily driver. I'd be flying this thing 100% of the time because I just love everything about it. It's got this great cargo bay area here, and it's very, very easy to get a couple of rocks in here and then some. I forgot that I'm in here. You can easily jump this ladder like I forgot to do. People do complain about the doors. But you can get through these doors pretty quickly. So we'll be doing some box missions, as I mentioned, so we'll probably hit Lyria first. That's where the action is.
Engines on.
That's where we pick up the mission. Got full rep in that system, so it works out pretty well. By the time you get to Lyria, your mission will spawn and you can go from there.
Landing gear up. Quantum travel engaged.
Technically, as soon as you get to ArcCorp, that's when you're supposed to be able to see these missions, but I never have seen that happen, and so I usually head to Lyria And the reason for that is because it's either going to start, the mission will either come up at Lyria or Walla. And the mission usually is to take the boxes from Lyria to Walla or vice versa. And of course, there's a variance of that. Sometimes you'll stay on Walla and just pick up and deliver. And other times you will pick up and deliver on Lyria. And then, of course, the other combination is if you actually have to go somewhere out of the system, you know, to Arc L4 or someplace like that. And those, of course, are the least desirable box missions. So let's just see what we get.
Quantum travel complete.
Usually this is the time to check. And we just have these QT sensitive ones right now. Those are definitely not worth doing. The way those work is you have to fly without using your quantum drive at all. And so you're flying 300 kilometers or more, and you can't really warp there, so you are stuck flying, and they take quite a bit of time. So when they do spawn on Lyria, they will usually be in one of these processing facilities. So let's just check before we jump down. Still nothing. So I'm going to go to a mining facility because I want to pick up the mule. So any mining facility will do. We'll just jump there and pick up the mule, which is really handy to be used in the box missions that we're about to do. In fact, any box mission with more than one box, it's really handy to have the mule handy because you can store up to 6 boxes on the mule. So you have some loot, some spots for some loot if you want to do some looting while you're doing your box mission, which really is highly recommended.
Quantum travel complete.
That's what makes these missions worth doing.
Landing gear down.
So we'll bring it in, land it, maybe do a little looting, and keep checking the mission log. We should be getting something sometime soon.
Engines off.
Here we go. So it looks like we still don't have the main mission. We only have these 8K ones. So we're going to go ahead and do a little looting. And we need to get the mule anyway. So let's combine those two tasks and then check the log again. So you can see I'm getting through these doors, you know, and if you get really good at it, you can actually time it so there's barely any delay. That is just a nasty bug that it sort of jumps me into my Moby glass. I'm sure you've experienced that before as well. So we'll hit this up real quick. Get ourselves a mule. Do some looting. Some fairly decent looting in these mining stations. There are better ones in some of the other stations. The bunker that we're going to be going to, of course, there's going to be some better looting opportunities there, but here we go. There's a red box. Can't complain about that. Okay. Let's see, I've got some loot here from the previous run.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your insurance claim has been sent. Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Goodbye.
It's always a good idea when you leave those bunkers just to give it a pause to see if the wind is gusting at that particular time, because if it is, guess what? You'll end up on your feet. Since we left the bay open, I think we left the bay door open, we're going to head right back. Some interesting air. So I think this is a little bit, this door, I want to say it looks about the same size, maybe a little thinner than or less wide than the Valkyrie, but you have plenty of room in here to put two vehicles side by side, and then you kind of have this extra area. In the Valk, it's kind of opposite. That little extra area over there on the side is really in the front of the Valk. There's sort of a guard door that blocks you from going all the way in the front with a land vehicle. There's kind of like a catwalk. But as you can see, I didn't try to squeeze in two vehicles, but there's plenty of room here for two vehicles to drive in and out. And then again, there's another area over here, which is really nice if you want to put like a Nox there or something. Oh, before I even leave, let's move some of this cargo, or some of this loot rather. And while I do that, I will say, you know, between the two vehicles, I think to me, the Star Runner just wins out just by a hair, because sort of the stock weapons are, in my opinion, a little better suited for me. The ability to have, you know, kind of a co-pilot and two gunners on this ship, and in the Valk you can have several gunners, but and I don't mind this, you know, like this is easy for me just to jump that little ledge there. I don't use the elevator. I think some people get hung up on how long it takes. And the Valk has a very similar ladder that you can just jump over. I guess I should have checked the mission log before I actually got in the pilot seat, but we're going to do that anyway. Valkyrie cargo bay door goes very fast, and that's either, you know, a plus or a minus depending on how you want to look at it. Here we go. So both of those are good. I'm looking at the pickup and drop off, and that's at on Walla. So that's a good one. That's a good one. Shipment process facility. Okay, so we're gonna head up into
Engines on.
orbit so we can fly back down to that processing facility. That's going to be on Lyra. So the only thing you really have to be careful with approaching these bunkers is that the turrets can be friendly or not. And I think that's pretty common knowledge across most of the game at this point. Sometimes the turrets, even though you have a mission, technically speaking, those things are not supposed to fire on you if you have a mission to go there, and everybody else is supposed to get fired upon. But you'll see here in a moment that we'll probably get fired on as well. But that's the other reason why I have the mule, because you can park away from the bunker safely and then just drive there, because the turrets will not fire on land vehicles. We're going to go ahead and power up our shields as we approach. And it's going to be kind of difficult to see where to land in the dark. So I'll just put my landing gear down early. And I will just kind of head over here to the side. And then we'll bring it down as quickly as we can to avoid getting killed. They don't appear to be firing. I haven't been locked, so that's a good sign. And that is the back. Yeah, that's definitely the back, so I'll just land it here. And you know what? I'm going to take this just a little bit further away. Really, I should go quite a bit of distance away. I think I'll go up over here. And then we'll land it. This can do fine.
Engines off.
Kill the engines, go grab the mule. Go pick up some packages. I believe at one point they also made these doors so that they would just be open. I could be wrong about that, but I think that was a mode you could put the doors in. They were just open, so you could just run through them. So that's the other thing that's a bit different between the two. You kind of have to run over here to close the ramp. There's only one little button, and it's actually not that big of a button, but at least you're clear of the ramp. In the Valkyrie, you have to be on it or right almost on it before you can get the option to close it. So that's always a little bit of a pain in my book. It's pretty easy to see where we need to go. Let's head right to the front of this place. All right, let's go get some boxes. So I usually come in unarmed, and this is where you want to have your game audio on if you play muted, because you will hear the gunshots long before you see anyone. So all is quiet so far, so I'm not anticipating seeing any baddies. We might see some guards, but I don't think we're even going to see them because you'd see their markers by now. So we should be alone for this. I haven't had very much luck with loot. There's a box right there, actually. The last couple of times I've done this, I've had very little luck. I'm grabbing one of those multi-tools because I might actually use it this time. I don't tend to use it for boxes, for these box missions. I can move those things around by hand pretty easily. All right, let's check here. That's a dead box. That is also a dead box. There we go. So I just run these things back. Again, multi-tool people would be like screaming at me right now. Why don't you just blast into the next room? And the reason for that is I used to play several patches ago, you know, things fell through the floor so often, and using one of those tractor beams was kind of a recipe for disaster because you literally would be throwing these things around, and the chances of you hitting an area where it would fall through the ground was pretty high. So in fact, even just dropping the box was kind of risky, but I've kind of allowed myself to do that. Rifles, not a fan. We will grab a couple of guns though. I like this helmet. I like that helmet a lot. Yeah. Just grab all the ammo. I don't like to even... I don't think that's gonna fit. It's not gonna fit. I'm not a fan of tan, but I'm gonna drop that on the floor. I'll leave the box there, and then when I'm doing my looting, more serious looting, because I usually get all 3 boxes before I'll even open anything up. It's just a habit, you know, get the mission done, and then go from there. So we got 2 of 3. And, you know, I always make it a habit of just kind of going in one direction. Always go to the right. And the reason for that is these layouts are slightly different, but the look of them is the same, right? So I know if I go up that, I'm going to end up where I was. There's the entrance. So I've come full circle, and now I can go down a level. Just checking that again. So now I can go down and check these. Usually there's some spawn areas right there. And now we're just going to check this stack. There's definitely one there. And that's our 3rd box. So now I just run this up. And I go kind of into the next stage, which is really to get everything into the mule now. I want these boxes to get put in the mule. You'll notice I didn't put the boxes on the elevator. That's just 101. Never put the boxes on something that could move or despawn on you. If you were to die, if there was a 30k, somebody could come along up there and grab your boxes just to kind of ruin your day. So as long as these boxes are on the elevator, we're kind of in risk mode, right? So this is the one part of this mission where you kind of have to know what's risky and what's not risky. And there's not a lot of risk in this mission, but at this point, the game could crash and those boxes would fall to the ground and they would persist, but you wouldn't be able to access them. And if the server really is, you know, buggy, I even take them off the elevator all at once and then come back and do, you know, kind of what I'm doing now. But that takes extra time. And if you think the server's doing fine, you're good. And as soon as you grab that thing, that third box, now you can kind of breathe a sigh of relief here a little bit, because if anything happens, these boxes are going to kind of persist with the mule. At least that's kind of what will happen in most cases. You can never be completely risk-free. And that's not really what it's about, you know. It's okay that there's some risk there. Oh, no, I don't want to do that actually while I'm just going to get some stuff out of the backpack. And we're going to go down and do a little more looting. We saw at least one red box there. Let's see if there's any more. So I usually just kind of go the opposite direction. And that's just because by that time, I've already gone around the other way a couple of times. And I have a pretty good idea if there's any red boxes there. But over here, this is sort of less traveled. So I get an opportunity to do a more thorough pass. That's fine. I don't usually grab these. I'll take a couple of tractor beams. I'll just take one. You can get those at the mining stations by the dozen. So I don't waste my time here. Because again, you know, I've got kind of a finite amount of time before something happens. And we'll run back here. I have hit or miss usually back here from loot boxes for me. In fact, I've never found a loot box back here. I don't think ever. But I know they spawn back there. I know for a fact that they do. So now we're just going to run back up here. Just check this over here again. There was that one loot box somewhere. Was it over here? Yeah. That might be it. That looks like the one and only. I didn't leave anything here that I want to take. Nah, I don't even really want that. I know some people might cry about that. But I'm not a fan of the rifles, some of the rifles. Okay, that's good. You know, again, I pick up some knives or, you know, whatever I wanted, that's fine. I think I got the bulk of what is here and certainly everything that I wanted from what I've seen. So we're going to call it. And that's kind of been the theme lately. It's funny, I was doing streams, practice streams, and I ran through a couple of these missions, and they were just all like rail guns and you know, everything in the loot boxes, and I was like, ah, oh, awesome. And then the very first stream that I did, it was nothing. Like there was nothing, you know. So all the test streams that I did to, you know, check out my audio settings and video settings and everything, they were just you couldn't beat it. Couldn't beat the loot. Not so much anymore. That's kind of the way it rolls, you know, with loot and any of these other commodities. You just kind of have to, they have their own economy, right? And they will either be highly lucrative for some of the time, and then, you know, you can't count on it. And with these missions, of course, I'm not choosing where I'm going, it's choosing for me. So if these kind of dry up because people are running bunker missions in these bunkers, and it doesn't respawn for me, you know, that's about all I can do. Let's just roll with it. So we're going to load up the mule. Excuse me, load up the MSR with the mule. And complete our mission. Ooh, I almost got hit by that. So let's just head in here. It is good to fly the MSR again. I do like the Star Runner. It's just I keep going on about it, but and I think it's an appreciated ship. I can't say that it's not an appreciated ship, or it's an underappreciated ship. That would be ridiculous to say that, because people love this ship. And I can see why. This is the first ship I had that I did any, because I started doing prospecting, mining, and I needed a ship to deliver the refined Quantanium, and I used this ship for the longest time. So I'm just gonna take the stuff that I looted and put it into the main ship. Just a habit of mine to do that in case something happens to the mule. It is a ship that, you know, it is a vehicle that can get damaged. I'm gonna wear that. Just happen to be wearing purple today, and I like that helmet. Oh, yeah, look at that. I had a couple of these before. You know, I'm a fan. So we're going to be heading to Walla to drop off these boxes. this ship can move as well. I mean, it's a fast ship, and if you're not a fighter, you don't have to worry about that. You can get away from anything that is chasing you.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
And this looks like another area we could do some looting. That's nice. Usually you do end up dropping at a mining station.
Travel engaged.
So at least, you know, 3 looting location opportunities for you on this mission. And if you take that 45K and you add in some good loot, in the mining stations you might find those Novikov helmets. Those run for 1,500. Those are kind of the high prized things that I found. And they are the most commonly found items of the high value type. And so, you know, you could theoretically you could add 3,000, 4,500 on top of the 45K that you'll get for just completing this mission.
Landing gear down.
Yeah, I think this just has the one pad, so makes our life a little easier. Because we don't have a choice. I do think, you know, the Valkyrie's great to fly. Sorry for turning the stream into a Valkyrie versus MSR conversation, but I haven't flown this ship in a while. I've been flying the Valkyrie almost exclusively. And now that I'm back in this ship, I still love it, you know? Quite know why that audio bug happens.
Engines off.
Yeah, like I said, I used to be able to time these doors, and I'm doing okay, but where it would almost be a non-stop. And then this you just walk right off of. It's great. I guess the other complaint is the one door only, which I think they are... it has been said that that's going to be changed. I wouldn't, you know, wait around too long for that to happen. But the one door also means there's There's only one opportunity for somebody to... Okay, that was a little strange. I guess I forgot to check my door. Now we're going to see if that one door is going to be accessible by me. Yeah, I should be able to jump up there with the moon's atmosphere, and I'm just going to move this real quick. Just because I don't want to move it after. I guess I forgot how big this ship is. There we go.
Engines off.
Get some more practice going through the doors. Yeah, because I seem to remember that door in particular would be open by the time I even got to it. Like it had been rigged up with the pilot chair. Which you could do on this ship because I guess the theory is you don't want these doors opening because someone might, you know, come in and attack you, right? But you've got those little airlock areas with this ship that are kind of strongholds. So you could open that first door and still have another door there before somebody would come in to your ship. So theoretically, you could lock one of those doors, if not all of them, for safety. So let's just head in here, do our drop off. And we'll be good to go. Okay. That was a weird animation. I have, had these boxes fall through this floor as well, but not in a long time. So, you never really want to kind of develop a habit that you just you stick with forever just because it was this way one time in the game a long time ago. And, eventually things are going to stop falling through the floors. So if it's faster for you to drop the box, just drop it. Okay. This happens from time to time. It's actually been happening more often than not. So what that is that's a box that will not grab. So what I'm going to do is, now this can happen, and it usually happens in the first drop after you pick it up from the bunker itself. What ends up happening is that you'll be able to get into a vehicle, but then you won't be able to pick it up. And the fix for that, I'm going to show you in just a bit. Well, I can tell you it's very, very straightforward. Oops, I did not need to do that. I'm just going to put these two boxes, deliver those, because the next thing we have to do is we have to take that mule and we have to store it and then retrieve it. And that will free up that box. The box will respawn with the mule, and you'll be able to grab it. So this is just another, kind of advantage to having the mule, because if I had put that directly into my Valkyrie or into my MSR, I would have to fly somewhere that I could store and retrieve it. I can't do that here in the mining station, but I can do that on the mining station with the mule. So it makes for life, which is still an inconvenience, but it's far less of an inconvenience than it would be if I had to take my ship all the way to the closest moon, the closest space station. And just before I go, I'm going to triple check that that's what we're dealing with. And we are. Okay. So a bit of a detour. This happened to me, I think, in the first. This happened to me in the first stream I did as well. And ironically, it hadn't happened to me but one time in maybe 30 box runs before the stream. So it's just, as the saying goes, if it can go wrong, it will. Okay, so we're all the way over there. All right. We're gonna drive around. And so, yeah, we'll just store this puppy, and then we're going to retrieve it right away.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Happily.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
So obviously the first thing to do is to check to see that this fix actually worked before you get too excited. And it does. Okay, that's cool. And then usually once once that happens, that's it. It's done being buggy. So it almost always happens. Well, I can't tell you which box it happens on because it seems to be random, but it's almost always, in fact, always has been for me anyway, just one box of the three, and it's consistently not, working. Am I going again? Where am I going? It's got to be on the other side of here. No, it's over there. Okay, got it. Couldn't tell from all these cargo containers blocking my view. You gotta love this 360 degree angle turn. I mean, that just... How can you not love the mule? I mean, honestly, I've never met anyone who doesn't like this little vehicle. It's, you know, and like people are, I am one of them. I am using this thing for something that, yeah, it does help. It is a nice to have, you know, especially since I don't use tractor beams. Because with tractor beams, of course, you can accomplish moving the boxes faster, but without tractor beams, this is, you know, a must-have. And there's our delivery mission. All right, I might just call it here. I know it's kind of been a short stream, but I do appreciate you watching. We did just a little bit over an hour here, and my time is tight, unfortunately, for today. I am going to start streaming. I might even start streaming again today later in an hour or two. But I'm going to be planning on doing Monday through Friday, or excuse me, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from here on out. So keep an eye out for me. My name is Yentra. My Discord org is the Know Nothings. And I'm very, 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 very happy that you watched this all the way to the end. And keep an eye out for me in the future as we continue to do more of these streams and I get better at doing them. So thanks again, and we'll see you all soon.
He don't want love. He just wanna fuck. Ow, little vacation. Drink it till we naked. Talking with our tongues. We just having fun.